Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Welcome to Teacup For One.
I am a turkey. Kill me.
My name is Matt and I have 2 degrees. Today we are talking about a film that is creepy and is kooky. It's mysterious and spooky. You know what? It's altogether ooky. The Addams Family Values. I don't care what anyone says. You can keep your comic books, you can keep your TV series, you can keep your CGI reboot, you can even keep the 1991 original live-action film where they're looking for Uncle Fester. But The Addams Family Values is one of those rare instances like Toy Story 2 or The Godfather 2 or Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, where the sequel is better than the original. I said it. I'm not taking it back. The Addams Family Values reunites the cast from the 1991 film, and first off, this is why it's the greatest Addams Family ever put to screen, because the casting is impeccable. We have Raul Julia as Gomez, Angelica Houston as Morticia, Christopher Lloyd as Uncle Fester, Carol Kane as Grandmama, was she ever young? Christina Ricci as Wednesday, and then this film layers on an incredible supporting cast like Christine Baranski as a ridiculous camp counselor, but like the main attraction for supporting cast is Joan Cusack, potentially at her best as Debbie, the Black Widow bride, but not Constance Hatchaway. Can you imagine the mashup? This film is just a perfectly executed black comedy. It was directed by Barry Sonnenfeld, who was recently the driving force behind the Netflix series, A Series of Unfortunate Events. Essentially, this is somebody who knows how to take the ultra morbid and make it ultra hilarious. I wasn't sure what to say about this movie because I love it so much. There is so much to say. I could have cycled through and pointed out all the cool horror movie Easter eggs, like the fact that the Addams Family house is a mirror of the house from Psycho, or the fact that more often than not when Morticia is on screen, she's being lit with like special lighting on the eyes to mimic how Bela Lugosi is lit as Dracula. Oh, I also could have talked about the cinematography for this tango sequence alone. I could even do an analysis talking about how the Addams Family Values is kind of like a wayward adaptation of Chekhov's Three Sisters, with Debbie filling in for Natasha. But then I realized the reason I love this movie so much is because it is so hilariously well written. There's so many quips and one-liners. So, you know what? Today I'm just going to throw analysis out the window and we are going to go through 8 of my favorite, most quotable moments from the Addams Family Values. Now, like I said, these are 8 of my favorite, most quotable moments. So I'm probably going to show you some clips, but for the most part, I'm just going to quote them. Also because that'll decrease the chances of this video getting flagged for copyright. Okay, first, right at the beginning of the film, they show Morticia and she's like, Gomez, wonderful news. I'm going to have a baby. Right now. And then they rush her to the hospital, and then while Morticia and Gomez are like in the baby birthing room, Wednesday and Pugsley are in the waiting room and they're talking to another little kid whose parents are also having a baby. And she's like, and then mommy kissed daddy, and then the angel told the stork who flew down from heaven and put a diamond under a leaf in the cabbage patch.
And the diamond turned into a baby.
Then it goes to Pugsley and he's like, our parents are having a baby too.
They had sex.
And so anyway, then the baby is born, they name it Pubert, which is filthy and hilarious, and then they take it home, and then Wednesday and Pugsley are super jealous and they decide we have to try to kill the baby. So Gomez and Morticia figure, well, I guess it's time to hire a nanny. So then they cycle through a bunch of nanny interviews, and then we get a hilarious montage. And the best part of the montage is this lovely, sweet British lady who brings a puppet to meet the kids. Hello, kids. I'm Polly the puppet.
What shall we do today? I know. Let's all clean our rooms.
Hello, Polly. I'll clean my room in exchange for your immortal soul.
Okay, so they scare off all the other nannies, but then eventually one shows up who sticks with it. Her name is Debbie Jelinski, played by Joan Cusack. But it turns out she actually has a secret agenda because she just wants to marry Uncle Fester for the money. The kids pick up on her plan right away, so she has to get rid of them. So she convinces Gomez and Morticia to send them to camp. So they end up going to Camp Chippewa for privileged young adults, which is owned and operated by a husband and wife team, Gary Granger and Becky Martin Granger. And one of the camp activities is putting on a pageant written by Gary as his vision for recreating the first Thanksgiving. And then they cast Wednesday, their own little brunette outcast, in the supporting role of Pocahontas. Now, when they try to get Wednesday to participate, her reaction is,
I don't want to be in the pageant.
"But don't you want to help me realize my vision?"
Your work is puerile and underdramatized. You lack any sense of structure, character, or the Aristotelian unities.
So then, sensing that Wednesday and Pugsley aren't really into the whole camp vibe, Gary Granger and his wife Becky Martin Granger decide that they need to make an example of them. So then that's when Becky Martin Granger, as played by Christine Baranski, says,
Everyone, campers, I have a wonderful idea.
Wednesday and Pugsley and young Mr. Glicker here, well, they've just never latched on to the Chippewa spirit. Isn't that sad?
Yes! Don't we just hate that? Yes! Don't we wish they would just die? Yes! Oh, no, we don't. But you know what we're going to do with them? We are going to make an example.
Okay, next. Debbie, Joan Cusack, ends up marrying Fester for his money, and then she becomes an epic homewrecker and tells him he can never see his family again while she's secretly low-key trying to kill him. So, Gomez and Morticia go to the police to report Debbie to try to get Fester back, and then they're trying to explain the situation. And then Gomez is there talking to the police, and he says, I demand justice! Someone has married my brother.
No.
She took him to Hawaii.
Get out of here.
They've moved into a large, expensive home where they make love constantly.
I hate when that happens.
A restaurant once without delay.
Who?
Debbie! My brother's wife! The temptress of Waikiki!
Who are you? What are you? Who moved the rock?
Okay, so because of all the family drama, it is affecting poor little baby Pubert. So instead of having his characteristic jet black hair and his little pencil mustache, he's developed long, flowing blonde curls, and he's become like a stereotypical sweet baby. So in trying to adjust to their new child, Morticia reads him The Cat in the Hat.
Are you enjoying this? To think, a child of mine. I know it is wet, and the sun is not sunny.
But we can have lots of good fun. That is funny.
Oh no. He lives.
Okay, and then finally at the end, Debbie captures the entire Addams family and she is ready to electrocute them all so that she can finally get Fester's money. But beforehand, she decides to just in classic villain style tell them her whole life story in one of the greatest monologues in cinematic history. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't enjoy hurting anybody. I don't like guns or bombs or electric chairs, but sometimes people won't listen, and so I have to use persuasion. And slides.
My parents, Sharon and Dave, generous, doting, or were they? All I ever wanted was a ballerina Barbie in her pretty pink tutu. My birthday.
I was 10. And do you know what they got me? Malibu Barbie. That's not what I wanted. That's not who I was. I was a ballerina. Graceful. Delicate.
They had to go.
Okay, finally I'm just going to show you this last clip because it's too funny.
Now you have to get married.
It's not binding.
Tramp.
One more time.
Now you have to get married.
It's not binding.
Tramp.
Okay. Okay, friends. That's it. That concludes this episode of Teacup For One. Thank you for watching. I promise the rest of the videos are going to be way more in depth, but just I love this movie too much to not just share my favorite parts of it with you. If you want to watch the rest of my Halloween movie marathon and you want to join me for which week, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. It's super easy. All you need to do is click on my face. Thanks for joining me today, everyone. My name is Matt, and I have 2 degrees, and that's the Teacup for One. Tramp.